The hype train of the R5 is still going, and we possibly have some more news about the overheating issues with the R5 and possibly the R6. I say possibly the R6 because nobody really cares about doing tests for the R6. Big sad. If you like videos on camera news, reviews, and tips, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more Canon news and rumor. Now, if you've watched previous reviewer videos of the R5, you know that Canon promised 20 minutes of the 8K video, but real life scenarios I've given you a lot less than that. But it seems now that people have actually gotten their hands on the camera and have been able to take it apart and do some internal testing. It's showing that the overheating time cap is sort of a software thing. But before I continue, let me add some context. When you have a CPU on a computer and you let it idle, meaning you turn it on, you don't do anything to it, you're on the desktop, you can get somewhere between 30 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius, depending on your processor. For the R5, the tests that people have done show that the R5 idles at around 46 degrees Celsius. A quote from EOS HD says, after switching on from a cold start and being left for a couple of minutes at 46°C, I recorded 8K for 15 minutes and the camera temperature only increased to 62°C, which is very comfortable for pretty much any kinds of electronics. Immediately after, the camera shut down and locked me out of 8K mode, but the EXIF data was reporting that the camera had cooled down almost immediately within seconds back to the mid 40s. The exact temperature, in fact, that we had started at before rolling 15 minutes of 8K. So pretty much the R5 is being throttled by a software limit set by Canon and not an actual overheating issue. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, well, why would Canon set a limit on the best hybrid camera to come out since ever and all eternity? It could be a ploy to keep the high-end cameras from being overshadowed, but then why would you give this camera so much power? What they should have done was made a processor that was strong enough but set actual limits on the camera so that they could use their 8K limitless beast for the high-end cine cameras. I'm a little bit skeptical on that reasoning. I think Canon did it simply to see what the competition would put out and then later release firmware that would really open up this camera. There's rumors that Canon will release a firmware update to the R5 and maybe even the R6 to push the recording limit, add C-Log, 1080p 120, as well as a light version of 8K RAW. I'd really like to see them add the 1080p 240 as well as the 120, but I guess we'll see when the firmware actually comes out. Now with the R6, I'd really like Canon to push back the 4K 60 record limit. That way this camera can really be used by hybrid shooters. The megapixels on the R6 may not be as high, but the 4K on the R6 has already been shown to be a higher quality than in the R5, not including the HQ mode. Hopefully Canon can get this firmware out before people start to cancel their pre-orders, because hearing that the R5 heating limits was fake, as well as extended wait times to actually get their camera, may send people off to buying competitors, unless you're locked in that Canon ecosystem, of course. I am personally waiting on the R6 and whatever updates come for that. But that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure you leave a like on it if you enjoyed, and make sure you subscribe if you wanna see more Canon news and rumors. But until next time, guys, take care. Good vibes.